Hello everyone, today I'd like to talk about Taylor Dayne. Okay, now the reason why I wanted to talk about her was I recently made a video about the overlooked diva, and that would have been Toni Braxton. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. But basically, I mentioned Toni Braxton from a vocal standpoint and where I felt she's kind of near, or if not there, with like the Mariahs and the Whitneys. And when I meant diva, I more so from a vocal perspective. Now, after making that video, I started to think about other great female vocalists that let's say from 80s and 90s and so forth, that would maybe be diva status if they had either had more hits or more material or more like presence. The first person that really came to my mind was Taylor Dayne. And for some reason, to me, she basically fell off the face of the earth in from when after this greatest hits came out. This came out in 95. In 1995, after that, I don't think I've ever heard of her again. She literally just disappeared. Like no music, never heard of her doing anything like that. Just disappeared. And I'm trying to figure out why. Now, she really made 3 albums, two in the late 80s and one in the early 90s. And majority of her hits on here were from her first 2 albums. And you couldn't get away from it. I couldn't get away from it. As a kid, I would hear a lot of these songs, even in the 90s, from her 80s albums. Now, people telling me that when they know Taylor Dayne, if they ever heard of the name and can associate the song, it would be Tell It To My Heart, right? That's probably her most famous song or popular song that people would pin toward an artist. That's kind of her signature song, so to speak. And rightfully so. That's such a great song. I love it too. But she's more than that. And if people think that's her only song, it's like a one-hit wonder. They don't know what they're. I want to know what they're smoking, really. So, if you don't know Taylor Dayne, I'll just read out the songs on here they're all bangers, monster hits too. Okay. So besides Tell It To My Heart, you got I'll Always Love You, With Every Beat of My Heart, Love Will Leave You Back, Don't Rush Me, Prove Your Love, I'll Be Your Shelter, Heart of Stone, Send Me a Lover was from her later album. I mean, that's straight banger after banger. And if you know those songs and you just listen to them. If you don't, just listen to them. They're not like all Tell It To My Heart style. A lot of them are like ballads. And that's where the vocals come into play. She's got great vocals, hands down. I mean, she's got the high stuff that she can do, and in her ballads, I think are actually better. It showcases her voice better. She can do the ballad stuff like no one else. I mean, she's second to none. I mean, I know there's a lot of other female vocalists that can do ballads, but she can also do it too, just as good. All right, so. Now, she's got all those hits I mentioned, really from her first 2 albums. Tell It To My Heart was her first album. I think Can't Fight the Fate was her second one. These were all like late 80s. And in her last album, I consider her last one was her 93. Shoot, I don't even remember the album's name, but it's that's how I think it's Soulful or something. Whatever, but it's that only had the a couple hits from there, and then that's pretty much it. And then she just faded away, like completely, in my opinion, just completely gone. Never heard of her name ever since this greatest hits came out. And I don't know why. There could be many reasons, and I've been trying to read up on them or trying to follow what's going on recently with her, why she kind of fell off the face of the earth. And again, I think I've read a variety of reasons, and they all could be right in some way or another. And I'm going to point out 3 things. First of all, her first album, she didn't write any of the songs, right? They have songwriters to do it. And her second album, I think she wrote one, maybe two songs. And then, from what I understood, she wanted to kind of make an album with features more of her own songwriting in them. And I think their management had a pushback on that. I don't know why. So that's one thing. Maybe that pushback kind of sent her into like, man, I don't want to be in the music business anymore, that type of thing, or try something else. Maybe she tried to go solo. I don't know. I didn't remember reading anything like that, but if she tried to, it probably wouldn't have been successful. Number two, and I think it's a probably more valid reason, is the music scene dramatically changed when she put out her third album, and her third album was decent. I don't remember the title slipped, but from the late 80s, you can consider her pretty much a dance pop artist. So I would put her in a category like Madonna would be the biggest, Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul. I might have to do a video on her too. Paula Abdul might be more popular. Yeah, she was definitely more popular at the time. And then her contemporaries like Tiffany, Debbie Gibson. If you know those names, then you know who I'm talking about. Otherwise, if you don't, then you probably don't know who Taylor Dayne is. But anyway, so that to me, that's kind of her style of music at the time, dance pop, 80s type. Her third album was released in '93. That was a dramatic shift in everything, right? So it became more alternative rock / grunge, second wave of grunge. Hip hop, obviously, that was what I was into. You got if it's like rock or soft rock, soft pop, it'd be more like the Alanis Morissette type of music. There were a lot of artists that came out that was singing that kind of style of music that became popular. And then you got like the kind of trance type music too. So, and then the pop music that kind of Taylor Dayne was into was pretty much gone from the early 90s, early to mid, until I would say when Backstreet Boys and so forth, those guys came out mid to late 90s, and sync. Those artists, boy bands, even help Britney Spears, that type of pop, dance pop music kind of came back. But the problem is, by then, she already disappeared. As I mentioned, when this Greatest Hits came out in '95, I don't think I ever heard of her since. And so to me, I think that's another thing. And if you take the two theories where she's trying to write her own music and the music has changed dramatically since during her third album. If she can't really write music, and if she's writing music that's more 80s dance pop, like her first two successes, yeah, I can understand why she wouldn't have been successful, because it's like a lost altogether combined, and maybe that's why. I don't know, but I mean, she's basically in her prime. I mean, at that time, and her again. Ballads aside, like, she can really belt out ballads, like even with like Mariah Carey style. And I forgot, in the early '90s, Mariah came out, and that kind of music, R&B and stuff, kind of took off too. So which is a bit different from Taylor Dayne's. But I was thinking, if she really wanted to make a good album or make some more hits, even in the early to mid, even to the late 90s, she could have, because she certainly has the voice to do it. No doubt about it. She can definitely sing the ballads that, Mariah would be singing. And maybe if she let someone else write some songs for her, I think she would be able to produce another album like her first two, where it's just banger after banger after banger. And the music style may change as well to adapt, and I think she still would have been successful. However, I don't think she ever gave that a chance, from what I understand. She just literally just disappeared. And it's a shame, because damn, I love Taylor Dayne. I mean, again, I even forgot about her for some time too. Once I got this greatest hits CD, I've been playing this mid to late '90s, and then haven't really played it since. And I really forgot about her entirely. So it has affected me as well from an artist standpoint. And it's a shame too, because to me, she's looking back, she is extremely underrated in my opinion. Not only underrated, but forgotten. And I did forget about her too. So that's absolutely a shame. And she shouldn't be in that underrated, forgotten category. Especially if you listen to her first two albums, all the music she's put out. Again, she's a fantastic vocalist. She can belt out like any other, and she can do various styles too with the ballads as well. Listen to it. I mean, listen to her ballads. It's awesome. Okay, her music, I know she can adapt because she can. Her music styles are vary. You know, they vary from the fast beat, "Tell It to My Heart," to the very slow jams, stuff like that. She can do it. Not only that, damn, she's smoking hot. I mean, she's got it all. She should not be like a 2 album artist and just completely forgotten. She should not have been like this. So, she had the essentials to be like a diva, if she wanted to be a diva, or, you know, a solid, not forgotten, you know, always in someone's conversation type of female artist, 80s and 90s, and she could kept going on too and things like that. So it's just a shame. I just wanted to kind of bring her up, especially remembering recently about her, and you know, to me, just don't want to forget. That's all. If you know her from Tell It to My Heart, listen to her other songs, especially the ones I mentioned. Just grab her greatest hits or listen to them online, like on YouTube or something, or stream it. If you were a 90s kid or even earlier, you would know or recognize a lot of these songs, no doubt, because they were bangers back then, hands down. They were popular. I think both albums, her first 2 albums, went platinum. So you could not hear or you could not hear her music at all. So she's not a one-hit wonder, and she's not like, you know, an artist that should be forgotten or anything like that. Anyway, thanks a lot. Let me know what you think.